I've worked with hundreds of people, but only one made me walk away from everything I built. And to this day, I still can't forgive him.
They say the calmest men carry the loudest grudges, and if that's true, then Aaron Kaufman has been holding them in for years. For most of his career, he's stayed quiet, head down, hands working, building machines that made Fast and Loud one of the most successful car shows in history. But behind that calm voice and collected focus was frustration, and more than one person who pushed him too far. He wasn't angry at fame or money. He was angry at the people who tested his patience, questioned his craft, and turned loyalty into pressure. The man who once defined what it meant to be the heart of Gas Monkey Garage was slowly realizing that the garage he built no longer felt like home. For the first time, Aaron Kaufman breaking down the 5 names that defined most difficult years, the partners who clashed with him, the rivals who challenged him, and the friends who walked away when things got real. Each name reveals a side of Aaron the cameras never showed: the builder, the perfectionist, and the man who refused to fake it for fame. So whatever you do, don't skip this video, because the last name on this list will absolutely shock you. Let's start with the one person who built the empire beside him and ultimately became the reason he walked away. Number 1. Richard Rawlings. Aaron Kaufman and Richard Rawlings began working together in the early 2000s, long before television cameras showed up. Rawlings owned Gas Monkey Garage in Dallas, while Kaufman was the shop's lead fabricator, known locally for his mechanical precision and custom work. Their partnership took off when Discovery Channel launched Fast and Loud in 2012, instantly turning them into household names. Rawlings became the face and deal maker. Kaufman handled the engineering and design. As the show's success grew, their professional goals started to separate. Kaufman preferred longer, more authentic builds that focused on process and accuracy, while Rawlings and network producers pushed for faster turnarounds to fit episode schedules and sponsor commitments. Aaron later stated in interviews that the workload and unrealistic filming pace took the fun out of it. Rawlings, meanwhile, emphasized that deadlines and production needs were simply part of running a TV business. By 2017, the tension had reached a point where Kaufman decided to leave Fast and Loud entirely. In a 2018 appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, he clarified that there was no explosive fallout. He left because the creative direction of the show no longer matched his standards for craftsmanship. Rawlings publicly expressed disappointment, but said he respected the decision. Both men have since confirmed that their split was professional, not personal. After leaving, Kaufman founded ArcLight Fabrication, focusing on Ford truck parts and independent projects built without television pressure. Rawlings continued Fast and Loud with new staff until the series ended in 2020. In hindsight, their partnership defined 2 very different paths in car culture. Rawlings built a brand, Kaufman rebuilt his freedom. The respect remains, but the collaboration ended not because of rivalry, but because of irreconcilable philosophies about how real car building should be shown to the world. Number 2. Christy Brimbury. Christy Brimbury wasn't just the voice on the phone or the person behind the desk, she was the one holding Gas Monkey Garage together when everything around it was starting to pull apart. As Fast and Loud exploded in popularity, the pressure inside the shop became intense. Deadlines tightened, sponsorship demands increased, and what had once been a passion project started to look more like a corporate machine. Christy was caught in the middle, managing producers, budgets, and a crew that was struggling to keep up with TV expectations. Aaron Kaufman wanted more time to make every build perfect. Christy was being told by producers to get it done no matter what. It wasn't personal, it was survival, but it often put them on opposite sides of the same conversation. Insiders later described arguments over budgets and build timelines that ended with both walking away frustrated. On some projects, Christy reportedly approved last-minute changes that Aaron refused to sign off on, leading to scenes being reworked or cut entirely from episodes. Fans wouldn't have seen it, but inside the shop, the tension was obvious. Around that time, Fast and Loud was also facing online criticism about authenticity. Some viewers claimed certain builds were rushed or staged, and speculation grew that parts of the show were edited for drama. Christy, who handled logistics, was often unfairly blamed for decisions made higher up. She never responded publicly, even when online rumors suggested she and Aaron weren't on speaking terms near the end. Adding to the pressure, Christy was privately battling thyroid cancer in 2016, all while continuing to film. Her return to the show after surgery showed remarkable resilience, but also revealed how demanding the environment had become. By the time Kaufman left in 2017, their professional relationship had quietly reached its limit. There was no open feud, but behind the smiles, everyone knew the garage had become divided, the business side on one end, the builders on the other. Christy Brimbury stayed loyal to Gas Monkey Garage until the very end, but her chapter with Aaron Kaufman represented one of the show's most defining controversies: the unseen struggle between passion, production, and the pressure to keep a multi-million-dollar brand from falling apart. Number 3. Chip Foose. In custom car culture, Chip Foose is the name that turns heads. Elegant lines, spotless chrome, million-dollar unveilings, he's the designer every network dreams of. For Aaron Kaufman, he was proof that skill alone wasn't enough anymore. Television didn't just want great cars, it wanted characters. And that, more than anything, changed everything. Aaron admired Foose's craftsmanship. No one could deny the man's talent, but what bothered him was what came after. Shows like Overhaulin' made miracles look easy. 7-day builds, endless budgets, emotional finales. To the public, that became the standard. But in Aaron's eyes, it was television fantasy dressed up as car reality. Inside Gas Monkey Garage, producers even began using Overhaulin' as the new template: shorter repair segments, bigger reveals, more feel-good emotion. Every time he heard the comparison, Aaron bristled. He wasn't a performer, he was a builder. People close to the shop say Aaron fought hard to keep the work honest, real deadlines, real failures, no shortcuts for the sake of TV. But those battles became exhausting. When executives wanted more Foose-style polish, Aaron wanted more substance. That invisible tug-of-war slowly drained his passion. To him, Foose wasn't the enemy, he was the symbol of what television wanted car builders to become: glossy, marketable, and safe. Still, Foose's shadow followed him everywhere. Fans compared their styles, critics measured their shows, and sponsors leaned toward the cleaner image. It wasn't jealousy, it was frustration. Because Aaron knew that if you build something real, it's never perfect, and that imperfection is what makes it human. But TV didn't want human, it wanted a highlight reel. So when Kaufman finally walked away, it wasn't just from Gas Monkey Garage, it was from the mold that Foose's success had forced the whole industry into. One man perfected the art of television cars. The other refused to fake it. And that quiet defiance is what still makes Aaron Kaufman stand apart. Number 4. Tom Smith. Before Fast and Loud became a global hit, Tom Smith was part of the original Gas Monkey Garage crew, loud, opinionated, and impossible to ignore. He brought humor and chaos to every build, and for a while, that energy worked. But behind the scenes, the shop floor wasn't always laughter and horsepower. Aaron Kaufman and Tom Smith were polar opposites, one methodical, calm, and detail-obsessed, the other impulsive, outspoken, and always ready to challenge authority. Their personalities clashed from the start. Tom liked improvisation, quick fixes, creative shortcuts, whatever got the car out the door. Aaron demanded precision. He believed every build represented his name and reputation. In a small garage under TV pressure, that difference mattered. Crew members later hinted that heated arguments broke out over simple jobs, wiring, timelines, or parts selection, with both refusing to back down. To make matters worse, producers often encouraged the chaos. A little tension made good television, but it was slowly tearing the team apart. Things came to a head when Tom Smith and fellow mechanic Jordan Butler were fired from Gas Monkey Garage early in the show's run. Publicly, the reason was insubordination. Privately, the whispers said it was deeper. Too many missed deadlines, too many arguments, and one final outburst that made producers step in. Tom later went public with his frustrations, accusing the shop of caring more about ratings than craftsmanship. Aaron never responded, but those close to him said the situation left a mark. He didn't enjoy conflict, but he hated what the environment had become, mechanics turning on each other while cameras kept rolling. Years later, both men would take different paths. Tom went on to start his own projects and occasionally joke about his time at Gas Monkey Garage, while Aaron stayed silent, focusing on ArcLight fabrication. But for viewers who followed the early seasons closely, that rift told a bigger story, the cost of success when personalities collide under the weight of fame. Tom Smith may not have been Aaron's enemy, but he became a reminder of how fragile respect can be in a business built on pressure, pride, and television deadlines. Number 5. KC Mathieu. Long before Fast and Loud was a household name, KC Mathieu was one of the few people Aaron Kaufman truly trusted. A master painter with an eye for perfection, KC ran Paint Shop, handling nearly every major Gas Monkey Garage finish during the show's early seasons. His work gave life to Aaron's builds: flawless paint, mirror-smooth detail, and zero compromise. To fans, it looked like a perfect partnership. But behind the cameras, that friendship was tested harder than anyone realized. As the show gained traction, deadlines got shorter and pressure mounted. The paint jobs that used to take weeks were suddenly squeezed into days. Sponsors demanded product placement, producers pushed for faster turnarounds, and the creative rhythm that Aaron and KC once shared started to disappear. Both men wanted quality over quantity, but the show wanted speed. KC, who ran his own independent shop, began pushing back. He didn't want his name tied to rushed work or scripted drama. Aaron understood exactly how he felt because he was fighting the same battle from inside the garage. By 2015, KC had quietly stepped away from Fast and Loud, citing creative differences. To fans, it was sudden, but to Aaron, it was a warning proof that even the best relationships couldn't survive the grind of television. KC later said in interviews that the environment had become too stressful and that he wanted to focus on his own projects, family, and customers. Aaron respected that decision completely. Still, it hit hard. KC wasn't just a co-worker, he was one of the few who understood why Aaron cared so much about doing things the right way, even if it took longer. When Aaron eventually left 2 years later, many fans drew the connection. KC left for freedom, Aaron left for peace. Two different exits, one shared reason: both men chose principle over production. And while neither ever spoke negatively about Gas Monkey Garage, their departures revealed something television rarely admits. Sometimes the hardest part of success isn't the work. It's staying true to yourself when everyone around you is moving faster than you can think. KC Mathieu remains one of the few people Aaron still speaks highly of. Their quiet friendship survived the chaos, proving that not every exit is about resentment. Sometimes, walking away is just the only way to stay real. So if you respect people who stand by their principles even when it costs them everything, show it. Hit that like button, drop a comment about which part of Aaron's journey surprised you the most, and subscribe for more real stories about the builders who chose passion over fame. Because in a world full of shortcuts, authenticity will always be the hardest and most powerful thing to build.